Hi everyone, it's Adrian Leah. This is going to be a crafting video. I wanted to finish the wonky barn. It's been a couple days and I haven't done anything else with it. I'm mainly going to add more of the sky and the sunflowers. I do have a list of other wonky houses. I'm going to do a burrow next, like a rabbit burrow. And I don't know if I'll knit. I enjoy doing these videos. I also wanted to kind of get myself to do other things besides studying because that's what I've been mainly doing. Well, for the last 4 hours, I was putting together the Veroniki. I made 100 of them, and I could have made more, surprisingly, from the batch that I did. I rolled it out differently, and I'm not sure if that was what that was because, or I I put in a way the same measurements, but I didn't use a measuring cup for the water this time because the recipe was calling for 2 cups, and the water bottle is already what it was saying, like the 2 cups. And um, so I did add a little more flour towards the end, but the recipe itself for the flour, this is for the dough, it came up to like a decimal point for um, the system of measurements that I was doing. So I just like kind of eye it at the end, and I have done that for the last couple of batches, but I think it was the water, and then I just um, added more flour, and it turned out well. So I ran out of filling, so I would have been able to do a couple more of the Veroniki, but I don't have a lot of space in the freezer anyway to do that because um, I have, so there's a top and bottom part of the freezer. My section for my things that I like to make is one of the smaller top corner ones because my mom tends to buy a lot of stuff for the freezer, and the rest of it is literally super full. So I don't want anything on top of the Veroniki because I don't want it to change its shape, and because sometimes like if it changes its shape it makes it cook differently, especially like when you're boiling it. um so I have a big batch, which is good. I feel like I won't touch it that much until maybe, was it the end of May, I'm hoping, or maybe at least like I'll have some of it left. And I kept the leftover dough for the next time, but I'm gonna make another batch of dough too because my parents are leaving in June for a couple months, so uh, I'll have to have my own pile of stuff, and that's what it is. I do have some of the um, pampushki, the bread, and I really enjoy the bread. My parents buy a lot of bread, well, recently, so I haven't taken those out of the freezer, so I'll have those too, and that'll be nice. So, that was an intro. I also wanted to show one of my works in progress. It's the Mother's Day works in progress. Oh, and I have the photo album that I put some pictures in. I wasn't going to put all the pictures in, but I wanted to put um, a good amount of them. Because some of them are selfies, and maybe here and there I'll add them, but I don't think I'm going to add all of them. So, well, I guess I'll talk about other things in a second, but I really, really want to show the Mother's Day work in progress. Well, this will be for Mother's Day. I'm not particularly close with my mom, but um, I figured that this would be nice for the kitchen, and I think I'll probably just put it in the kitchen. So it is coming up so nice. Okay, it doesn't even show. They aren't necessarily super neon. It so, but they are brighter colors. Hopefully you could see that. And then this is the bottom because I wanted to do a, a cloth, but I still wanted to work in the round for the color work. I have done a kitchen cloth, a color work kitchen cloth working flat. So it'll have the floats on the other side. And I didn't mind that. For this yarn, it is a lot softer than that one. I use I feel like it's called Peaches and Cream. And that one is has like a sturdiness to it. This one is still soft, but it's mainly said for it to be like clothing cotton, and I do really agree with that because it is like probably one of the softest cotton yarns that I've ever used, and it's so malleable. There isn't like a lot of, it's not like super dense because I did try knitting a garment with that peaches and cream yarn. I had it with other yarn too that wasn't the same brand, and I switched my needles a couple times because I thought like my needles were gonna snap because it was like it didn't have a give to it. But this one has a lot of give, and I'm enjoying it. And because I'm working in the round and I'm gonna close this up anyway, um, I'm not catching my floats. And even for garments, it depends on what I'm doing and it depends on the yarn in the garment. There might be a chance that I won't catch them. I know that's like a taboo thing for some people, but I use a lot of non-superwash and the floats tend to felt into the garment anyway, or it is part of the garment, so it tends to, I guess, dryly seep into what it is. So I'm super happy with it. And as I said, I knitted this bottom up. This is Judy's Magic Castle, and you might be able to see where I started, like in the middle. But once I wash it and the yarn relaxes, it's not going to show up. But really, really happy with it. This is a cowl pattern. It's the Home Sweet Home cowl. I didn't change the numbers. I just changed the cast on. and you can use whatever colors you want to use. I really love this pattern, and I love the way that it turned out with this. It has such like a, it does feel homey. It has like some like sentimental energy that comes from knitting houses and stuff, and even my sewing houses. I was also thinking I might write in my planner because I didn't write my assignments for week 4. I technically finished them. There's just the exam this week, and that's why I wanted to really do this video to make sure I'm not just setting, although I will probably look at index cards while I am doing stuff here and there, and might wake up earlier for me to do more stuff. And I have a quiz that's separate from the exam tomorrow, or well, yeah, it is tomorrow because it's late. Um, and it's on a Wednesday, and the last time, because our classes switched from for Wednesdays now, so technically you could take the exam on campus or take it like somewhere else, like at home or wherever you have the privacy to, because you're going to get monitored for it. But I just take it on campus just so I'm not fussing around with the stuff in my room, because there's a lot of random stuff in my room that I would have to like move around. Then even in the closet, like I had to move stuff around in the closet, and I think like I can concentrate when I'm working on the exam on campus too, because it's just me focusing on getting it done instead of like the other things that I would rather be doing. And then the quiz is on more drugs, and then we have an exam on the drugs that we have studied coming up too. So that is okay, but I I like checking stuff off when I complete the things. So this is just some of the assignments, because I say that there's like technically 2 sections. That's week 2 and 3. Because there's different sections of the course too. And then there's an extension of like things that they say will be for a benefit for us to do it, and we get graded for it too, and it's extra work. But I don't put that in here. I tend to monitor that differently. So maybe I don't know if I want to do that now. Maybe I should start sewing, but I'll start cutting the stuff actually. So I also wanted to do a timeline of things too. Right now I have separate index cards, and it was kind of painful for me to write on full-size index cards when I guess I could add on to it, but I don't write largely anyway. So that's what I do with these index cards, which have the drug stuff, and I will add more to it eventually, but that would be like the basis of it. Um, these are mainly for the laws, and I wanted to make a timeline and put it in my binder. So I kind of wanted to do that maybe today too, because I do like that visualization of it. But let me at least get something started. I still have these here because I like keeping them together. I don't know where I'm putting them yet or what I'm even doing with them, but I just know that I want to make them. And my whiteboard is leaning against where I would normally hang them. So I'm trying to see where else I would hang these, where I could like look at them too. Like I said, there's something on the wall that hangs and that has like a something draping, like a poster, a wall hanging thing that is kind of like the same. It's kind of like the curtains, like it hangs off the curtains. So I might take that down to just put like a cloth where I could organize the sewing stuff. Oops. I don't know if I have enough glue here. I think I do actually. Oh, where are my scissors? I always lose my scissors. And I use the Lisa Frank bag now to house some of the crafting supplies. I say some of them because I have my sewing stuff in one area, or no, multiple areas, but mainly there's like the sewing desk. My knitting stuff is in a main area, but it's definitely other places too. And you could say that with other stuff. Like my spinning wheel, I don't really have a lot of fiber for it, but it's on my dresser. I keep it there. Mm, those are the main things. No, that should be fine because I will have more blue areas past here. That's why I say I'm not sure what it will turn into just because I don't know how strong or how fragile my work is. I definitely want to keep doing this because I'm having fun. I think that should be fine for the top. And since I'm extending it, I'm trying to find a good place to cut it because, well, I would like to use this fabric for other things. And also seeing how far up I'm gonna go with the sunflowers. Sorry about my scissors. And I'm trying to overcut because I tend to like cut barely a little more than what I need. I still had to figure out how to use my rotary cutter. I wasn't sure if I was gonna sew too because, well, on camera video, because you can't really see the sewing machine because wasn't, I haven't been using the pillow underneath it because sometimes it hits the area where I put the plug thing. I don't know why I'm cutting with my right hand, but my God, hopefully you don't. Or maybe it's just me that I get the shine from my scissors. So I have these pieces for the side too, but um, I think I'm gonna attach the sides first and then attach the top neck at last. Because I feel like that would make sense so then the top can attach to everything. Because I'm gradually learning how to piece stuff together. I'm still kind of listening to directions, but there's a part of me that's just like if there's too much directions, I'm not gonna want to do this. And I'd rather enjoy myself. There's this one. I have some from the last time I tried cutting it because I tried putting the sunflowers in a different section. I think I might save these for another time. So I'll put those things in the box. I was also thinking, should I put this stuff in the Lisa Frank one? But I'm like, it fits in here. And it kind of controls the consumption of the amount that I buy. Like, I have this, I got this at the thrift store, and I love it. There were a couple of plaid things that came out. I don't know if it's because it's like summertime that because it's getting sorry because it's getting warmer and wow, okay, so when I think about warmer weather, it's like, picnics and stuff. I've never been to a picnic, but this is what I would think it would be, and that's what I'm gonna do with some of this. So I'll put it with my other fabric because I have fabric that I have larger quantities of, and then fabric that I have smaller quantities of. I think when I make clothes again, I might like kind of go off directions and then kind of just do my own thing because I like doing that. I do that with my knitting too, but there's that foundation of what the pattern is. So, which is this? I mean, these are a lot longer than I needed, but unless I don't put the sunflowers too high up, would it be, or maybe halfway? Or I think less than halfway, where because I don't really want it to be next to the yellow for the contrast of the barn. So, go here. I think I might just put this with the larger quantity because I don't want to put this in the box if there's well, then, well, no. I think I'll just put that in here. Or because I have this yellow, this is a large quantity of it for my scrapping stuff. And I wanted to get into scrapbooking too. I had too many things, Adrian. I mean, I would say I could do whatever, well, I can do whatever I want, but I also have to keep telling myself, well, if you want to carry this stuff around when you move, I guess you can do that. And I don't usually want to. The heaviest things that I really even don't kind of want to carry, but I love them anyway, are my knitting books. Because sometimes, like, there are certain knitwear designers that they have a bunch of patterns and then they make their patterns into books. And then once they're in books, you can't buy them on their own anymore. You have to buy the book. I feel like after Wednesday, crafting Adrian will be back. As of right now, I'm like Adrian that is mainly sleeping and studying, aside from that 4 hours where I was putting together the Nikki, and I'm happy I was able to do all of them. I might go back to doing it the way that I used to, just because towards the end, I feel like it could have like saved a little more time if I, sorry, put some of the dough away, because that's why I would piece them gradually or like roll them out gradually, because since I'm just preparing the stuff towards the end, like I had to kind of reconstitute the dough because it was like um it wasn't dried out, but I didn't want it to dry out. So that was what was kind of happening towards the end, where I made sure to keep it at a good texture so that I could finish it. I mean, towards the end, I was kind of like but I was also it was mainly because I did it in two rollouts, or like the dough rollouts, instead of like the over four of them, just to make sure everything is fine. And it did turn out well. I'm happy that it felt a little bit of a faster process in that way, but um, faster in some ways, but then my hand's not keeping up with like putting it together in other ways. Put my scissors here. And I'm gonna try to reorganize the room because my thing is, I like finding somewhat permanence. I don't like using that word lightly, but I'm gonna get my sewing machine. But the permanence of like where I keep something in a space for the period that I'm there. Because I don't like moving stuff around, so that's why it takes me a long time. And a lot of times, like in the last apartment that I had, by the time I finished putting stuff in specific places of where I wanted it to be, it was almost time for me to move because I have a tendency of moving constantly, but next place I'm hoping that won't be the case. So Let me get the sewing machine and then I have to figure out where I'm putting it. He's still technically in this spot, but I don't know if there would be any curiosity. I'm wearing one of my dresses I got from Etsy a while ago, a long time ago actually, a couple years ago, and I like the dresses that are or skirts that are shorter in the front and then they taper in the back. So I'm wearing a dress and my one of my legs is off the bed because I'm going to press on the pedal. But my sewing machine is here and I'll do the shorter pieces first. Wait, I don't think I finished cutting this. Oh, I had to charge the laptop. I don't know if it's because, well, I do talk on video, but it's already like 36 minutes in and I barely did anything. So I kind of figured that would be what it would be for making a video or sewing video. And I wanted to do like a shoe bag. It just gave me an idea, like that book, and I renewed one of the books to well, from the library, and one of the projects was a shoe bag, and I kind of wanted to do that for my Converse boots because I placed them on a large, like plastic storage bag on the ground so they don't touch the floor. And I tend to like try to carry them separately, like in separate hands or something, or elevate one over the other because the Converse like scuff so easily and I clean them every time I come back from using them. So I have them charging. I did plug it in. But I think I'm gonna keep the extra stuff at the bottom for now because I just, well, I want to see how much I need. And then oh wait, I forgot. I do need no, I don't. Never mind. Because I was like, do I need more of the sunflowers down there? But that is kind of like the thing that I'm doing with the sky because it's going to go above the chimneys, so I don't need to do that. I'm just gonna connect the blue ones with the yellow for the sides first. I did give myself a lot of extra room to do this. Alright, I was just checking my drive band too because I've never had like a visible drive band for my sewing machine. I'm not gonna act like I know the other sewing machines that I have, but oh my god, sorry, redo. I connected it the wrong sides together. I don't feel like um, pausing it. I think I do want to make shorts for the summer though. I really like the fit of my pants that I made. I kind of just am thinking about like maybe I should just cut the pants and that's it. But the pants actually fit nicely, so I don't really want to do that. But I kind of do. So right sides together. I didn't take any home ec course in school, but when we did have a home ec course, I feel like they mainly focused on cooking or baking. Because I just remember like they would just have food in their home ec class. I don't even know if they have those classes anymore. I honestly don't know like what it entails because I've never had one, like been in one before. I don't know if I had to pause it because I just take so long doing stuff. So that's why you get all the strings from me. I haven't cleaned up any of my projects yet with them. So attach these. I know, so difficult, right? I'm gonna, yeah, I think, see, I left a lot of room, but I'm gonna have the sunflowers be below where the contrast yellow is. I think I'll want to do that. Let me see. Because I didn't want it like super. Yeah, I think that is what I want to do. Mm, super high up, that's what I was going to say. Let me do the other one. Where's the blue? Hopefully the video isn't just like me constantly just looking down, because I feel that's what it is for a lot of the crafting parts of it. But there are two now. I'm going to attach one of the sides, and um, I'm going to take a little on here just because at the time I wasn't sure what I was going to do with the house, so I stopped the blue, and it's going to go a little more deeper in because I'm going to fold it. Oh, it's gonna, is it fold over? Anyway, it's shorter there, so, but it turns out, yeah, that's the back. It turns into something that's fun. I don't know why that memory came back in my brain. It's not really much of a memory, it's just like kind of fact. I got held back in preschool, but I also like didn't talk much. I just had no interest, I guess. But I talk here. Oh, that's it. I don't usually pin stuff down for the wonky stuff, but I'm kind of thinking maybe at some point I could, because I think it would make it easier. Does it take away the essence of the wonky house feeling? Kind of. That's like one of the reasons why I don't. I hope that is good. Perfect. This video, I'll show the finished house. I might not show all the things in the video when I'm sewing, but I really want to finish it. Okay, I think I'm gonna keep it there. Hopefully that's fine. If not, I'll just do it off video. Um, Alright, me also checking to make sure I'm still sewing the stuff together because sometimes, well, it's not cut the same. Okay. Hmm. Um, Give me 1 second. Well, I actually might pop back in because it's at 53 already. Okay, second try, I got it. Um, it was higher than like this part. I wanted it to be directly under. I didn't want it to be next to that yellow. And this one, this side will be not uh, like I won't mind as much if it is a little higher, but ideally around the same spot as the other side. And it's 54 minutes in. I knew that I would just take forever. That's the top. That's here. Let's see. Maybe I should pause it and then um, iron it and show me doing the last top of this block. Or do you call this block? Do you call these blocks? I didn't iron yet, but I'm happy that I got both the ends. Of course, I'm going to cut it, but I'm going to do the top. Before I do the top, I'm going to iron it because I want my pieces to be wonky. Like, well, I don't mind it and I like it too, but it, of course, sewers will be like, duh, Adrian, that when you iron it, it is a lot like, um, I don't know what you call it, like you don't have some awkward puppy areas or um, you kind of know what you're getting into once you iron it instead of ironing it at the very end and then maybe it could have been this way or that way. But I really, really love it. I'll be back to do the last one on video. Now I'm going to do the last one at the top. So this is what it turned out to be. I'm going to sew some places that I kind of missed when I was sewing, but other than those areas, I'm really happy with it. Well, I'm happy with it regardless, but it turned into a barn house. Did I say? Is it barn farm? I think this, well, it's not straight in general, but let me cut it, or, well, I'll cut this first. Um, cut it here. And even when you don't see the sewing machine, maybe it's nice to hear because I like the sound of the older sewing machines. It kind of gives me like, typewriter type of sounds. Not like it's the same, but um, just historical sounds. And I was thinking about like, what if I wrote with a typewriter? And I'm like, for what? Because I'm not like, maybe if I wrote a novel on a typewriter, and I did think about writing a novel or some type of book, but it would most likely be a novel because I tend to have a mind that goes everywhere. Let me iron it. Okay. Um, I didn't put the iron back on. I just hoped that it would be warm enough to flatten it. So this is the wonky farmhouse, and I'm so happy that I did this. I still had to like kind of straighten the edges, but the main part of it is done, and then I'll work on like areas that I missed with my sewing machine. I'll do that by hand, mainly like here, um, on this side here. Those are like the areas that I saw. But other than that, really, really happy with it. Um, Proud that I kind of followed directions. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it. I really do love this one. Um, I'll see you in another video.